Another Ukrainian long-range strike on strategic target ravaged Russia. A massive fire erupted in Engels, Saratov region after a reported strike overnight. Russian channels claim drones targeted a fuel depot at the military airfield hosting strategic aviation aircraft. UAVs were shot down by air defense forces. Debris hit an industrial facility in Engels. Fire crews and emergency services are working at the scene, the governor wrote. But this is always the same explanation given by the Russian authorities after Ukrainian strikes. The Ukrainian General Staff confirmed they struck an oil depot in Engels, Saratov region. The attack targeted the Kombinat Kristall fuel storage facility, crucial for supplying the Engels 2 airbase, home to Russian strategic aviation. Multiple explosions and a massive fire were reported. The first explosions in Engels were recorded around 3 a.m., when a large explosion occurred at the oil depot of the Rosreserve's Kristall plant, followed by a fire. According to open-source information, this federal state-owned institution is responsible for storing fuel for the Engels 2 airbase. The Kristall plant's oil storage facility is located approximately 8 kilometers from the Engels 2 strategic aviation airbase. The Kristall plant's oil storage facility is located at coordinates 51.43684529672695, 46.090275563, approximately 8 kilometers from the Engels 2 strategic aviation airbase. The airfield is home to aviation from the 22nd Heavy Bomber Division, specifically the 121st Bombardment Regiment, equipped with 2 160 aircraft, and the 184th Heavy Bomber Aviation Regiment, which uses 2 95 aircraft. It should be noted that this is not the first time drones have attacked Engels. One of the first attacks on the airfield took place in December 2022. The flash and sound of an explosion were recorded by a CCTV camera when 2 explosions occurred in a row at 01:35 a.m. Kiev time. Later, the Russian media Baza reported that the fire covered an area of 120 square meters on the territory of the airbase. According to preliminary reports, 3 people were killed and 4 others were hospitalized. In addition, the last attack on the airfield was recorded in September 2024. According to local residents, explosions were heard, after which a fire broke out on the airfield. The Russian service of the BBC counted the number of strikes on Russian refineries in 2024. In 2024, refineries and fuel depots in Russia and the occupied territories of Ukraine were attacked at least 81 times. Oil facilities in southern Russia were most often targeted. In the second half of 2024, the frequency of such attacks decreased significantly, especially in September and October. Ukrainian SSO units repelled a Russian attack in the Kursk region, destroying several pieces of heavy equipment in the process. When trying to storm Ukrainian positions, 2 tanks and 3 armored vehicles were hit and taken out. Ukrainian Special Operations Forces have been actively engaged in the Kursk region, conducting operations to disrupt Russian military activities and achieve tactical gains. Ukrainian SSO units have also targeted foreign troops supporting Russian forces. In a recent engagement, they eliminated 13 North Korean soldiers deployed in the Kursk region. A Ukrainian drone attempts to strike a Russian Ka-52 Alligator helicopter in mid-air. The enemy helicopter maneuvered and evaded the attack, but drone operators continue to train and wait for the right moment to strike. Venezuelan President Maduro claims 7 mercenaries were arrested for plotting to disrupt his January 10th inauguration. He alleges the group includes 2 Americans, 2 Colombian hitmen, and 3 mercenaries from the war in Ukraine. He said the detained Americans were very high level, but he did not provide further details or evidence of the arrests. Just today, we've captured 7 foreign mercenaries, including 2 important mercenaries from the United States, he said in a broadcast on state television before declaring a mass deployment of police and military across the country. I am sure that in the next few hours, they will confess, he added. Maduro, who is set to take office for a 3rd term on Friday following last July's contested election, said the group was captured in unspecified parts of Venezuela. Russian losses in Ukraine are helping fuel a demographic time bomb that could see the country's population reduced by half by the end of the century, experts have told the Kyiv Independent. The impact on Russian society is devastating, said Harley Balzer, emeritus professor of government and international affairs at Georgetown University. From Russia's perspective, winning the war in Ukraine is the smaller problem. The bigger issue is it going to be a viable country afterward regardless? According to Ukrainian figures, Russian losses passed another grim milestone, surpassing 800,000. The figures from the General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces do not specify killed or wounded. The overall consensus is that it includes dead, wounded, missing, and captured. According to Ukraine's Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrsky, more than half of these losses, 427,000, occurred during 2024, accelerating as the year progressed with no sign of slowing. Russian forces suffered their deadliest day since the start of the full-scale invasion on December 19, taking 2,200 casualties. For comparison, the UK suffered 750,000 military casualties during the 6 years of World War II. Ukraine has published daily estimates of the number of killed and wounded Russian soldiers since the early days of the full-scale invasion. Initially, there was some skepticism about how accurate the numbers were, but as Ukraine's Western allies began to publicly release their own estimates of Russian losses, they have been broadly in line with those coming out of Kyiv. Compounding the staggering losses sustained during the full-scale invasion of Ukraine is the fact Russia was already facing severe demographic issues before it launched the full-scale war. The Russian Federation was trapped long before its invasion of Ukraine in what I described as a demographic straitjacket. Nicholas Eberstadt, who holds the Henry Wendt Chair in Political Economy at the American Enterprise Institute, told the Kyiv Independent, "Life expectancy for young men is on par with a fourth world country. Life expectancy at age 15 for a Russian man right before the pandemic was about the same as his counterpart in Haiti." A large study into why Russian males had such short life expectancies, published in 2014, concluded one of the main factors in early deaths was excessive alcohol consumption. Other factors cited in a more recent investigation last year by the independent Russian media outlet Cherta included high rates of murder, suicide, car crashes, and other fatal accidents.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. He's doing the job every day.